What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about Canadian culture and traditions. You know, that may sound kind of like a very general sort of statement, but I think that's the point. I think that's good. I actually like that this video is just going to talk about a couple kind of general explanations of Canadian culture and traditions, because I don't think I've ever really watched a video about that topic. Anything I've learned about Canada with traditions or things about the unique things about culture in Canada, it's just been kind of random, just by chance, where I learned something here and there. So I'm actually quite interested in this video. It's actually time-stamped, so I know there's going to be like about etiquette and what else? Religion, multiculturalism, wonders of Canada, festivals of Canada. I like this kind of stuff. Very informative stuff where growing up in Canada, it's like probably pretty deeply ingrained in your identity. Whereas growing up in the United States, I've probably never heard of 90% of this stuff. Or maybe I have, who knows? But either way, should be interesting. Let's take a look.
Culture and tradition.
Oh.
Canada is famous for its pristine landscape.
Is this a robot voice talking? Or is this a person who sounds like a robot? Either way, it'll be fine. We'll put up with it.
Especially its vast mountain ranges, rich history, and diverse blend of people and cultures.
Yes.
It's the second largest country in the world and extends from the US in the south all the way to the Arctic Circle in the north.
Canada is massive. That's something I learned recently. Not that it was massive, but but that because it's so big, it has like a really nice population density, where in a lot of places in Canada, you can spread out a bit more because of Canada's relatively, modest population, like 30 million. Yet it's spread over a landmass that's pretty big. It's cool. It's pretty cool that everyone's not crammed together. Although I know there's a lot of places in Canada where people don't like to live, and there's other places that are more desirable anyway.
Canada is made up of 10 provinces and 3 territories. The capital city is Ottawa, but you might also be familiar with other major cities like Vancouver, Toronto, and the French-speaking Quebec and Montreal.
This robot voice hit the nail on the head. Those are exactly the only places Americans have ever heard of in Canada. Americans, I know this to be true because I've experienced it myself. Looking through a lot of the reactions that I've done to Canada, it is embarrassing how little Americans like myself, I've just had to come to terms with it. But the little amount we know about Canadian geography and cities and where they are and what's going on there, most people in the United States do not know. But I don't think that's a Canadian, anything against Canada. It's just that it seems like in the American education system, we don't learn very well specifically the things in many, many nations on the planet. So it's nothing against Canada, don't worry. It's really more against the entire Earth. No, I think we could do better in learning about what's out there outside the US. Anyway.
Canada is bilingual, with English and French being the 2 official languages, but most people speak English at home. You might hear some common Canadian slang such as loonie, a dollar coin, chinook, a warm wind that comes over the mountain in midwinter, and
What? Chinook?
Dollar coin, chinook, a warm...
Chinook? Am I saying that right? S-H-N-O-O-K? Oh, Chinook. Chinook? Oops. Wait, why is it a helicopter? Is the helicopter named after the wind? Okay, I'm gonna... Wait, what was this? What is a Chinook weather? Chinook winds. Oh, it is a thing. Type of warm, dry wind over a downward slope. Is this a common thing in Canada that all the Canadians are talking about? The nice little pleasant breezes? Fair enough.
You might hear some common Canadian slang such as loonie, a dollar coin, chinook, a warm wind that comes over the mountain in midwinter, and hog town, nickname for Toronto.
Oh, see, I knew this video. It's always these random videos with really, really general titles. Hogtown? That teach you these things, these random facts. Very, very fun. Hogtown. Why is Toronto Hogtown? What's going on there? What's going on in Toronto that I don't know about? Hogtown.
That comes over the mountain in midwinter, and Hogtown, nickname for Toronto.
I'm sorry. I can't let that one slide either. Hogtown. It's kind of funny from someone who's never heard it before in their entire life. Here we go. Why is Toronto called Hogtown? The origin of the name is the hog processing industry located there in the 19th and early 20th century. Well, that got kind of dark really quickly. Although I can't really judge because I am a fan of eating pork and bacon. So as much as I say it's dark, maybe I'm contributing to the Hogtown economy. Wait, maybe that's a good thing. Oh well, judge it for what you will.
Language and daily life.
Okay.
Because Canada is so diverse historically and ethnically, there is no single national culture.
Look at these, look at these stock images, by the way. I haven't even been paying attention. Are these the happiest Canadians you've ever seen? Or is this a random stock photo from Hawaii or something, like on an island? They're wearing like Hawaiian shirts and sunglasses and have popsicles. Maybe this is Canada. You know what? I shouldn't jump to conclusions.
Because Canada is so diverse historically and ethnically, there is no single national culture. The melting pot ideal of the neighboring United States is translated in Canada as something of a stew, with distinctive flavors from the hundreds of influences that make up the larger Canadian culture.
Yeah.
Although French and English share official language status, the particular culture of an area is generally a reflection of the dominant language. Thus, French influences are confined largely to Quebec and New Brunswick.
Right.
Canada's Aboriginal peoples also maintain their own distinctive cultures, particularly in the north, and immigrants have both integrated into Canadian daily life and continued to maintain some unique elements of their ancestral homelands.
Yeah, I have heard that in quite a few videos now about the cultural diversity of Canada. It's very cool. Apparently there's a lot of diversity of food as well. That's a big bonus. Not just the people, but that's expressed in some of the local customs, and probably with some delicious food as well, which never hurts.
Still, the country unites to celebrate Canada Day, July 1st, which commemorates the formation of the country in 1867.
Right, Canada Day. Canada Day. I've heard of that. Canada Day. What is the equivalent in America? 4th of July? There's no America Day. America Day. That sounds funny. Canada Day. Okay, I gotta learn more about Canada Day at some point.
As a multicultural country, Canada has many exciting festivals and cultural attractions that take place throughout the year.
Cool.
If you are new to Canada or a particular province, there are many ways of finding out where the latest activities are taking place. Have a look in your local newspaper.
I'm sorry, but this is the most, from someone in a video background, this is the most stock video I've ever seen. Someone off screen clearly told these people, especially the guy in the back doing the finger gun dance, I see him, to just dance around for 5 seconds and grab the camera. The camera guy's probably annoyed because this guy's grabbing his camera while he's trying to take a photo. Everyone's moving. The picture he's taking would probably be blurry, and they're not even getting that guy with the guitar in the shot. So, okay, back to the video.
Out where the latest activities are taking place. Have a look in your local newspaper, do your research online, and listen to the radio for updated information.
Okay.
Your neighbors and local community centers can also be a great source of information. Etiquette and customs.
Okay.
Canadians are generally polite, tolerant, and relatively informal.
Right, this is the perfect example right here, where two Canadians bump into each other, both say sorry. From what I understand, that is the custom. both parties say sorry, and everyone goes about their day, all the happier. Seems like very nice. Funny that they had this exact scenario of people bumping into each other and both being like, no problem. Very Canadian. Very nice.
As with any large country, there is a great amount of variation in customs and etiquette from one region to the next.
Right.
The most obvious difference is in the province of Quebec, which has more French influence than the British. As a result,
Right.
it is not uncommon for people to greet each other by kissing each other's cheeks, left and right, rather than the handshake popular in the rest of the country.
Oh, is that true? I assumed there was going to be a pretty large French influence. And many Americans are aware that Quebec is very French. But I actually didn't know they did the cheek kissing greeting. I didn't know that. Is that actually true? I thought that was only in France, honestly. Okay.
Canadians are generally very polite, and it is important to remember your manners if you want to get on well with people. If you are dining with locals, then table manners are fairly informal, and you need not worry about refusing particular dishes or asking questions about the food.
Okay.
Do make sure to say please and thank you. If you are
Okay, so basically Canadians are just normal people, is what I learned. That won't get irritated if you ask about the food. What are you going to complain about the bread or something? What are we saying here? But a Canadian would probably be pretty nice about it and say, well, Mr. American, if you don't like the bread, you can shove it where the sun don't shine. And all the best to you. Are Canadians passive aggressive ever? That's kind of like maintaining the politeness code while also saying, no, F you. You know, if the occasion calls for it.
about the food. Do make sure to say please and thank you. If you are invited to someone's home for a meal, it is considered polite to bring a small gift such as a bottle of wine or some chocolates.
That's what I heard. I literally heard about that the other day in a different video. The bringing wine or chocolates. Is that not over the top? Is that expected? That's just normal? I feel like I would come so underprepared. Why does she have a crown on? Okay.
Religion.
Oh, because it's her birthday. Wait, I thought this was just an example of a normal meeting, but it's her birthday. Okay, I need to stop. I need to stop trying to analyze the random footage.
The range of religions practiced in Canada is as diverse as its inhabitants, and freedom of religion is a constitutionally protected right. Christianity is the most prevalent, with around 65% of the population as adherents. Atheism has also been increasing steadily in recent decades.
I wonder when this was made. This was made 8 months ago. This is pretty recent. So I'm going to assume these stats are fairly accurate.
And around 24% of Canadians now state that they have no religious affiliation.
Okay.
Multiculturalism and diversity. Historically, Canada began developing into a strong nation by welcoming immigrants. Today, it continues to value the richness and diversity that various cultures contribute to society.
Yeah.
In 1971, Canada became the first country in the world to adopt multiculturalism as an official policy. This
Oh, an official policy. What does that mean exactly?
affirmed people's rights to maintain their unique cultural identity.
Oh.
This affirmed people's rights to maintain their unique cultural identity and promoting cross-cultural understanding and harmony.
Okay. That's good.
Natural wonders in Canada.
Yes, that is a big thing I've observed. All the natural wonder, the wonder in Canada. I think that's something that is one of the best kept secrets from Americans. That there's Canada, very close to us, beautiful, amazing people, amazing place, and a lot more Americans should visit, like go on vacation there. Instead, a lot of Americans are just obsessed with going to Europe or something, or going to some really far off place where they're like, oh, that's the only way to go to an amazing, incredible vacation or find an amazing new place. It's not really in the minds of enough Americans that, hey, check out Canada. Go to Canada. I'm sorry if I'm gonna start sending more Americans Canada's way. You'll just have to deal with it.
Incredible natural wonders in Canada that will take your breath away. From epic Virginia Falls to the ancient Great Bear Rainforest, there are must-see spots dotted all across the country, from Nova Scotia to British Columbia.
Yeah.
Canada is home to some vibrant cities and some wonderful man-made attractions. But what sets Canada apart from other destinations are its natural wonders.
Right.
Anyone that has been on Canada holidays will have had their breath taken away from just looking at the raw beauty the country offers.
True.
From cascading waterfalls to dancing lights in the sky, there are so many natural attractions which you can enjoy.
Dancing lights in the sky. Can you see the northern lights from Canada? I feel like you can. Isn't Canada north enough? I'm sure it is. Northern lights. Yeah, the Aurora Borealis or Aurora Borealis. Where can you see this? Where can you see this? Maybe I should just search Canada at the end. Where to see the northern lights in Canada? Well, I don't need to look up the specifics. Oh, Northwest Territories, Yukon, Nunavut. Nunavut? There's no way I'm saying that right. Okay. Yes, sounds like you can. I thought so.
Joy in Canada. Festivals of Canada.
Oh.
Canada is truly a multicultural and secular country with people of different ethnic groups cohesively living together, participating in different festivities of colors, light, music, culture, and celebrating the oneness of life.
Okay.
It is the home to some of the biggest carnivals that celebrate both traditions and life, making it
Really?
a must for a traveler to be a part of at least some of the festivals of Canada.
Is the robot voice going to get into the specifics of these Canadian festivals? Because this actually sounds very interesting.
Relocating to Canada.
No, she's not. Okay. Well, at some point, I'm going to have to learn more about the Canadian festivals that I'm hearing so much about.
At least in part, to the country's welcoming attitude towards immigrants, Canada is becoming an increasingly popular destination for people looking to relocate.
Yeah.
If you are thinking of moving to Canada, here are a few things that you might want to consider.
Don't get me started. When Americans get sick of America, the first place they say is, "I'm going to Canada." And they don't even realize how smart that actually is. They're just saying it because they're mad at America. But if they knew what a good deal it was in Canada, they'd be even more excited. And I imagine many people from all over the world, well, apparently, I don't need to imagine. Apparently, that's the fact and truth of the matter, that lots of people all over the world immigrate to Canada.
You should be aware that the cost of living in Canada is higher than in most of the rest of the world.
Okay.
Property prices in major urban centers such as Vancouver and Toronto average are currently amongst some of the highest in the Western world.
Yeah, I think I had heard something about purchasing houses, or at least by major cities in Canada, and they were expensive. Crazy expensive. I couldn't believe it. I forget what it was. Could it have been $300,000 for $400,000 for a house? Maybe that was right by a major city, but it's like, whoa. But that also is affected by the fact that Canada has a really strong economy, so people might earn more on average, which kind of equals it out, even though the entire planet is kind of going through a economic recession right now. So maybe this isn't the best time to talk about buying a house. But either way, I think I was familiar that the cost of living in Canada can be like higher than average.
The price of groceries may also be higher than you might think due to the fact that Canada relies heavily on imports. And the same is true of petrol and alcohol, which are both heavily taxed. Although Canada generally welcomes immigrants, you still need to go through the correct process before coming to ensure that you are residing in the country legally. Be prepared for this process to be time-consuming, as it is not uncommon for it to take 6 months in between completing your application and receiving a response.
Wow. Oh, that's it. It's like, is there something else? The robot lady stopped talking. No, that's it. Okay. So this was by Farid Hawk. I'm gonna say Farid Hawk. I like that. It was the voice was kind of funny, but the information was good. That's all that matters. So I give that a like. What do the comments say here? What do the people have to say? I've been to Canada last year, and it was legit my most amazing travel so far. I believe it. I keep hearing testimony after testimony that it is a great place to visit. Canada has a very beautiful country. I always wanted to be a Canadian citizen. Visa process is very hard. Yes, I have heard that, well, at least in this video, it said it can take 6 months. Plus, I'm sure there's a whole application process. Tough to become a citizen anywhere in the world, it seems. Nice video. Nice. People saying nice. Okay. Pretty good. I enjoyed this. This was actually exactly what I was hoping for. Just random, general stuff about Canadian culture, Canadian traditions. Just lay it on me, and there will be nuggets of information there, and there were. So, for that reason, I quite enjoyed this. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment. And also, if you're looking for more entertainment, more content, me and my twin brother, actually, who does YouTube too, made some new reaction videos together. So, if you're looking to be entertained more, right here, by my hand, I should be pointing at it, is a link to some fun videos, a channel me and my brother are doing. So, if that sounds interesting to you, feel free to check it out. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.